Hello, Reese from the Point Music Podcast thingy, and this is round 2 of trying to get a podcast up and running with the amazing JUNO. I did a podcast with them back in August last year, so 2024, and it was such a cool conversation, and then everything turned to crap because I lost the audio for it. Don't know where it went. It's into thin air. And then they got really, really busy, so I couldn't really sort of reschedule at the time. And luckily enough, they've come back and said, yeah, let's do this thing. So yeah, they got a new single out. They got 2 tours coming up. They've got an EP coming up. So we'll talk all those things in this conversation with Sam and Kahlia from JUNO. Ladies and gentlemen, and people of all sorts, JUNO. And we are rolling. Okay, this is take 2 of the JUNO interview, which was supposed to have happened in fucking August last year or something like that. And it was such a cool interview, and it just went. I lost all the audio, and it doesn't matter because you guys kicked us at Big Sound anyway.
Thank you.
Was that pre-Big Sound?
Damn, that was a long time ago.
That was pre-Big Sound, yeah. How crazy is that?
Yeah, time flies. Gosh, so much has happened since then.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We're so back.
We're so back.
We're feeling good.
He's so back. Yeah. How'd you feel about those Big Sound? Because those showcases, man, there was a lot of hype about them. I caught the one that was out in the mall.
Yeah, man, we're stoked, hey.
It was so fun. Like, both shows for different reasons were awesome. Yeah. And we didn't know what to expect. Genuinely thought like 5 people would turn up, and more than 5 turned up, which was excellent.
It was 5, so we're really happy about that. And I think
just a tad more than fucking 5 were there.
Thank God.
And I think like even outside, the audiences and how like I think no matter how many people were there or not, like we were just like so stoked with the set that we put on and how the band played and everyone performed so well, and like, we were just having a bunch of fun up there. So I think there could have been 5 people or 500, and I think we were just stoked as fuck anyway, So it was fun. It was a good week.
Yeah.
Very tiring.
Yeah.
Very tiring.
Big Sound takes it out of you, doesn't it?
Massively. Yeah. Big social battery depletion.
So I tried to do a bunch of stuff as well. I really wanted to make the most out of the week, obviously. Get up early and go in for some conferences or just try and meet people or do some meetings and stuff. And yeah, I'm not built for that. I think I'm like a 1 event a day type person. You know what I mean?
That's the only thing I do now. I make the habit of just going one. I pick one night. I'll do that, and that's it. I don't need to do the It's because to be honest with you, like if you've been to, like I've been to quite a few Big Sounds in the conferences and that, and it's kind of the same thing every time. It's different looks and approaches, but a lot of the same time, unless there's something new coming in, like obviously with social media and that sort of stuff. But I just find I don't have the brainscape for it anymore, and I'm more there to see the actual acts that have got the hype about them. And
that's the best part for sure.
Yeah. And the lineup last year was crazy as well.
It's a great lineup last year.
Oh, very full on, yeah. But you guys got to ride off the coattails of that because you've had a hectic 6 months since then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, been doing a bunch of touring.
Yeah, did a tour with Blue to Tiger. Did a tour with Lyric that crossed over and both ended in Melbourne on the same day. That was a big day.
Yeah.
2 shows in one day.
Not a 1 event a day.
No.
Was it?
Dang, dude. I can't keep up with all these events, man.
Did not love that one.
That's crazy.
It was good.
Sam split into 2. He claimed himself and just did the 2 events in the one day thing.
He wished
Yes.
And and then beyond that, we've just been doing so much writing and recording, prepping for this year, which luckily is going to be even bigger. Hey, we just basically got our next year completely mapped out, which we've never had in our career so far. So that's very exciting.
Yeah. Usually it's like, hey, a show came up next week. Do you want to go do that?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. But it's nice to have a bit of a plan.
Probably release a song now. Like, I guess.
Okay, so a lot of bands don't get past that sort of phase, right? Even solo artists, like they basically, all right, cool. We've got some shows. We've released a single or an EP or whatever, and we just basically keep on recycling that. And what you just said there was key, was the mapping it out. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. And that's it takes a lot of effort and a lot of kind of business sense at the same time, because you got a budget for that shit too, right?
Massively. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. It's like, I mean, especially like, we got a few shows coming up in the UK and stuff like that, and it's like even, you know, having to do visas for the band members and obviously flights and stuff. Like there's just so much little incidentals to budget for and all that kind of stuff. It's like honestly far outweighs what anyone would dream of paying you to play the show in the first place. But it's just like, all right, investment, you know, and we're gonna do this.
And we're both full-time musicians. So
yeah.
There's
we're not rolling in it, that's for sure.
But it's gonna work somehow. So we're lucky. We're lucky.
Yeah, but it's just good. Yeah, like knowing that it's coming up like in 6 months or something has been like the most invaluable thing, because it's like, all right, cool. Well, I have something to aim for. You know, rather. I guess I'll try and just work my ass off for this unexplainable thing. Like it feels better being busy and being tired, because it's like, all right, I know what this is for.
We're doing it for. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're hungry enough for it, so that's where a lot of people sort of go wrong. They tend to sort of just coast along, or they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket and just go for it, right? And I understand that. I mean, I'm kind of like that. I've done my time touring. Like I've toured the UK, I've done New Zealand, all that sort of stuff too. And if you don't do it right, you'll either break even or you come back less. You come back not broke, but you'll come back at a loss.
Close to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you work it out right, if you do the flights, if you don't sort of live lavishly in that, but sometimes you can't help it because it's kind of, you see it as a holiday at the same time. But for you, because it's basically your income and work, it's work, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And we're definitely looking at it like that. Like we're gonna cut corners everywhere we possibly can, and probably have a lot of noodles and baked beans on toast. But I mean, we're going to be in the UK playing shows. So it's like, it's just so worth it. Even if we do go backwards, it just doesn't even matter. It's almost an honor to go backwards, in the sense that we get to go and do something like this.
Yeah, at least we get to go.
Yeah, exactly. So
within reason.
Within reason.
But
if you're offering us $50 a show based off,
help us.
Hey, no, don't do
that. No, you can't do that. Whereabouts in the UK are you actually hitting up?
So we are going to London,
Bristol, Manchester. Oh, Manchester maybe.
Yep.
And then we're going over to Dublin, and
Glasgow.
Yeah, which is
crazy. PBC on some more, and I'm not even being secretive here.
We don't even know.
I don't even know yet. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that part isn't mapped out.
Yeah, but we're on tour with Drax Project in mid-May this year, so it's gonna be crazy. We played a show with them when they were in Brisbane, and they are like, they have the best live show I've probably ever seen. Awesome. So I'm kind of nervous about it, but it's gonna be really fun.
But before you do that, you're actually doing your own run of headline shows, in April.
Yeah.
Yes.
Headline tour.
Yay!
Exciting.
Go us.
Yeah, we have done one headline tour before, but it was a co-headliner. Yeah. So this is the first one that's like,
the onus is like only on us, you know.
Exactly. So a little bit more pressure, but yeah, we're just stoked with the response it's gotten so far though. Like, and it's gonna be like, we're putting on, like, it's gonna have all the theatrics. It's gonna be like the best show we've ever put on.
Yeah,
like,
we want to be
very excited for it.
Want to be very dramatic about it. Yeah. Put on a bit of a show.
Like an arena show, but it's at Black Bear.
Been in Black Bear.
You could do a arena show at the Black Bear. It's just streamlined. That's basically it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Yeah. So, congrats on Pity Party. It's a great fucking track.
Thank you.
Firstly, it's still not trending. Well, it's trending on mine because it keeps on coming up on my TikTok. Just so you know. So, am I part of the cool group?
Oh yeah, you are. Yes.
Official.
Yeah, that is actually official. So congrats.
I'll wear that badge of honor.
Friend group.
Based on our one TikTok at one time.
So Bleach isn't appearing on this EP, as far as that's going back from the conversation we had like last time. That didn't make it to air, right? But it was also a taste of what was to come, and which you did show with Pity Party, right? So I'm guessing, because you've changed your aesthetic too.
Yes.
So the whole you've gone away from the whole like jerseys and that kind of thing, and you're going for like a kind of a spikier glam grunge look, from what I can kind of
kind of a little bit more Gwen Stefani esque.
For me,
Avril Lavigne. You'll probably still wear jerseys, to be honest.
No, I'm comfortable.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're the Gwen Stefani. Yeah, sorry, I missed the joke. That didn't land. My bad. No, I think the jerseys will still play. If anyone and I know everyone cares, but the jerseys will still make an appearance.
Yeah, every now and then.
As everyone's been asking.
Costume change midway through the set. Just pull it out for a couple songs.
We're back. Yeah. But yeah, it just a slight shift to something that we feel like aligns with the music that we're releasing on this EP.
Yeah, and I think as we spent more time with JUNO and being JUNO, just like kind of figured out exactly what it is we like. You know what I mean? Like there was kind of project. I'm sure we talked about it before, but the project started like so accidentally, and we just kind of like found ourselves with a band and shows and stuff. Like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And then the rest has kind of happened, which is awesome. But it's taken like a little bit to really be like, all right, what are we trying to do with this, or what do we want out of JUNO, or what do we even listen to or want to make or want to look like or whatever. So it's honestly, it's like, if it's weird because it feels like for me we're almost taking not like a step backwards musically, but like back to our roots, quote unquote, not JUNO's roots, but us as people and musicians,
right?
And it just feels a bit more feels a bit more like nostalgic and like true to us. I think
creating a body of work has resulted in that sort of realization about what we actually like want to sound like and look like. What we want to. But honestly, I think with every EP it'll change a little bit.
Probably.
Because
but that's we wrote evolution of things, right?
Yeah, I think it's fun. So whatever we're doing here next year, when the next thing comes out, it will be different again. I think we'll just keep changing and growing because that's what we do as people, right?
But yeah, we're kind of rolling with that. Honestly, like. I'm not too worried about a genre hop here or there, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of like the music we write and release is just like a kind of depiction of where we're at as people at the time,
Kind of all pop at the end of the day, I think. Just different iterations of pop.
It'll be fine.
There's nothing wrong with like changing direction or change, just like you were saying, it's kind of like art for art's sake, right?
Yeah,
that's it. Hey, I think we just like making stuff,
and
I can't just like live in whatever we have fun making at the time, which happens to be whatever this is sounding like or becoming now,
Yeah.
Well, I've just gone through that same experience because I've just been knocking around with my own solo stuff, and because I come from a heavy background, but I spent years playing reggae, and none of that is in this body of work. It's
right.
It's in the alt pop territory. Like I love gorillas and all that kind of stuff. So it's just sitting right through. And because I don't have to rely on other people, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Unless I'm collabing, but then I just do the body of work and then send it to whoever wants to do the vocals, and they can do it, whatever they want.
How's that feeling? Is it very freeing? Feeling good?
Very. I'm still hypercritical of every move I make because I'm mixing and mastering it too. And I know Sam knows this feeling, like when you're stuck in that zone the entire time.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard because it's like, I don't know, you're trying to like let the song be the song, but then also it's like, no, I know I can make that snare better. But then also at the same time, like,
no one cares.
No one fucking cares, man. Seriously, unless it's peaking, like you listen to it on the phone and you got, whoops, so the bass is way too heavy in this, and like, I'm a bass player and the focus is on the bass, so the bass is at the front and not in the back or anything like that. But sometimes there can be a little bit too much bass.
Unfortunately, I've had to learn that too. Yeah, it's sad. Can't just put bass at the front of every mix. It's unfortunate, but got to give the people what they want, which is not bass.
Yeah, it's not bass. it's subliminal, right? It just sits underneath there and makes people sort of do this and basically groove. But unless you like Primus, it's not meant to be right at the front.
I am not like Primus.
No one's like Primus.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. But no, I've been doing a lot of the finishing on the EP since we got back from Japan. Like went on a little start of the year just to try and reset, and like it's cathartic because it's like, I don't know, I think it's been the easiest ever to finish these songs because like this EP that we're writing, I think, has a lot more to do with the kind of music Kahlia and I both listened to growing up. So it's like, I think it's easier to tell when it's done. I think the music we kind of started JUNO with was kind of like a step in a different direction for us. So I was like, what is a finished JUNO song with this angle? Like I didn't really know. But these days I'm just like, that to me sounds like a finished song as someone that's listened to this shit for 20 years, you know what I mean? So it's been nice to almost just like let go and be like, some snares aren't the best snares ever. You know what I mean? It's like that's not the important thing. The song is the important thing.
Is it serving the song?
It's fine. Just move on and let go. And then but that's been really nice. But anyway, I think people are really going to enjoy the song outside of the snares, which is exciting.
I always get one of those. I will get one of those sort of meme or videos on TikTok where it's the producer and he's looking at it and he shifts like the amount of snare by like that much there, and like he spent 3 hours doing it and no one fucking cares.
Oh.
I know I'm waffling on about snares a lot right now, and this is the last thing I'm going to say on it. But on that exact note, I was testing 2 different snare drums, and I wanted Kahlia to tell me which one she liked the most. And I put my headphones on, or she put my headphones on, and I flicked back and forth between them. And I was sitting outside the headphones, but I could still hear it pretty clearly. I could not discern a difference between snare 1 and outside. And I was just like,
bro,
no one gives a shit.
No.
It's fine, Anyway, last story. That's done.
It's when you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go, man. I've had to learn that. Yeah. You mentioned like the musical influences that are coming up growing up. Like, I don't think I asked this last time, and I'm curious because we're in a totally different age group. So yeah, divulge.
Well, I grew up in a lot of Avril Lavigne. A lot of Paramore was like my first concert that I ever went to. I think it's pretty evident even when you see me do anything that I love Hayley Williams and I've loved her forever. And yeah, like Gwen Stefani and No Doubt. And honestly, there's definitely a bit of like an emo-ness to some of the songs, even though it's like pop songs, but there's like an emo music vibe to some of it, which we both really like. And then more like currently it's like Bieber Doobie and Clairo. You definitely hear those artists on it. What other artists would you say?
Well, like I think like growing up, like for instance, I mean, relating it to Pity Party, for instance, like that riff sounds nothing like them, but like came from me just going back and listening to Deftones. You know what I mean? I was like, what would like the Deftones guitarist play on a Juno song? You know what I mean? It's like trying to write some little stuff. And like I used to listen to a lot of shit like that, and even like just random like shoegaze and like Title Fight and stuff like that. Like it's all like Midwest emo music, and I kind of grew up with metal. Like we're not making metal, but like like As I Lay Dying and Disturbed back in the day, and then like more recently like more Australian bands like Northlane and In Heart's Wake and stuff like that. Like that was my whole thing growing up, And then Junior was like, oh, what if we did pop music instead, And
now I think we've found somewhere
like,
that's like
I
think we just kind of realized as well that we really like guitaria music.
Yep.
So the whole thing, it's a little bit more distorted guitar-y, and every song started with us sitting down with a guitar and actually vibing out like, does this feel like a song? And I think originally when we were writing with like from the very beginning of writing for Juno, a lot of our songs started with like Sam and a loop or just going through Spice, and we create something and then build a song on top of that. And it was almost never something that I would be able to like sit down and play on a guitar. If I did, it wouldn't feel like that's where it originated.
Just reacting to a production rather than reacting to a song or like a chord progression or a mood or something.
Yeah. So I think by like going back to what we used to love, we realized that's what we actually love about songs and music. And it sounds really obvious, but it was like a bit of a turning point for us.
So you would feel like right now the songwriting's more organic than what it had been previously, right?
Yeah, from Bleach onwards, I would say.
Yeah,
that's when we started doing it that way. And
I think every song was written to completion on a guitar and vocal before anything recorded, which is
big
crazy for us. That's just not how it was done.
Not at all. Yeah.
We used to start songs with drums or something like that. Like you said, it's like loops and shit.
Yeah.
But this was like fully like chords, the message, the lyrics, melodies, everything done before we recorded anything. And it was just it intentionally lived in voice memo land until we were ready to do something with it, Which is why I think like a lot of like we came from a lot of different angles songwriting wise, but there's a pretty cohesive path like sound wise to the EP because it was all just produced as a unit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like we haven't really been led astray by a cool sample or something kind of changing what my vibe of the song is. It's just literally like guitar and vocal, and that's that. And then we find a through line with the production later,
Well, Carly, did you find that therefore the lyrical content and the melodies came a lot easier this way too?
Massively. Like I think the reason why I love this EP that we've written is that every single song is about something different, and it's very honest, and it's just very like easy to explain what every song is about. And I feel like on past songs, like there's a song we have called Come Through and Sunburn. It sounds a bit silly, but like even making TikToks, it's like for Sunburn, it was like POV or sitting by a pool.
Yes.
It's like it doesn't really yeah. It's like I don't get to write on it. Not that I don't love the song, and I still love it, but it's just like what does it kind of mean, and what is it actually saying? And that also, it doesn't matter to everyone in music and doesn't have to, but I think we just realized it did matter to us, though, that you know, the songs that we were releasing was like, this song is about this, that, and that, and then someone writing in and being like, I feel that too. Like I actually really value that as a songwriter and as an artist. So I was like, okay, we need to make sure we're doing that now, and like even if it takes a bit more time, you know.
With Sunburn, you know, jokes aside, like it had its place specifically there. Like we honestly, so many people like have messaged us hearing it at like a pool party somewhere, or this or that. And it's like, that's cool, like that's awesome, and I'm really really stoked on that it's like out there in the world doing that thing. But I think we're like definitely feel ready and have been like having conversations with people about the way they feel about lyrics or a mood or a song or a situation or something like that. I think that is meaning a lot more to us this year,
and is quicker to write in so many ways, because it's like, this is the topic I'm writing about, and then it just kind of like all starts flooding out. Like, I don't know, that's where songwriting feels the truest and best to me, I think. So
well, I think we discussed this the last time we spoke, that there was a fair bit of catharsis coming out like in the previous releases for you, because you were going through all the previous stuff you've dealt with. Is that still coming up now? Is you dealing with something, you finding other topics to talk about this time around?
Interestingly, I think with this EP, a lot of the songs were written about, because we have like a really beautiful like group of friends and musicians surrounding us, kind of like our support system, and so many like wonderful friends. And it was just like, had a lot of conversations with a lot of them, and I found my mind as we were writing this EP, like taking little things that they'd talk about, or like things they were going through. I was like, oh, I've been through that. That'd be like an interesting song to write a song about. And then I guess yes to what you said, like diving deep back into the old memory book that's in my brain. I mean, like, how did I feel when I went through that similar thing, and then just letting that come out. But that's been really fun. Like, for example, there's one song, and this one isn't that deep actually, but it's called Hot and Talking, and we played at Big Sound, and it'll be on the EP. And it's about a friend who, you know, there's something there, and they keep flirting with you, but you're starting to get to the point where it's like, is this just like a game? Like, you're just sort of like, you're feeling good about yourself because you're just, by like flirting with me and leading me on, but you have no intention of actually seeing it through, and you're just like playing with my emotions and my feelings. And that's what the song's about. It's not that deep, but it's like something I think a lot of people relate to, is just being kind of played with a little bit.
And I think came from hearing, you know, situations from friends also. And I think a lot of the EP is like almost like noticing and like commenting on life, you know what I mean, just like situations that are happening to our friends, or about our friends, or some tea that was spilled that we're kind of like commenting on, or talking about, or something like that, you know,
none of which you could write about if you hadn't been through yourself.
So will they know it's written about them?
I think some of them will. 100%.
We've been trialing some arrangements and stuff live, and we've slowly had some comments trickle through of like, is that you know,
like, no, that's about me, definitely.
Yes, but they okay with it? Or they sort of like
it's nothing malicious, you know.
No.
It's all just talking about situations that are pretty public and stuff, but just like there's a bunch of like feelings that it evokes when we talk about that.
And none of it's specific about anyone. It's always just specific about me and my experience, but it was just triggered by like something a friend told me that they were going through, or something that I overheard, and I was like, that's actually a really good idea for a song. So
the film clip to Pity Party looked like it was pretty fun to put together.
That's our friend. Those are our friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what
kind of thinking about.
It was so fun. Yeah, we literally just like set it up in our house. But the funny thing was that upstairs, all our friends, because they were extras in the whole video, they were actually literally having a house party and getting drunk, and then downstairs we're filming. We just like feed them through every now.
Kind of
and then.
accidentally
It's
though, like we
insane.
didn't plan it, but like
Not
all the
accidentally.
extras rocked up at like 3 or 4, and most people weren't in a shot until 10 or 11 p.m. So
Right.
I was like, oh, kind of bad. So we went out and bought like I think I don't know, like 2 or 3 cartons of beer, 4 or 5 bottles of champagne, like a
Pizza.
bunch of stuff, pizzas, everything. And I was just like, go hard, you know. And then everyone got shit faced and was having an actual party. So by the time that they were in their shots and jumping around and shit, like everyone was actually just loose.
They were actually like at a
Yeah,
party.
it was really fun.
It's really good.
It was like we accidentally turned the music video shit into genuinely just having a camera crew there for a party we threw.
Yeah.
So like, all right, this kind of worked out pretty
Okay,
well.
so
So
was the
funny.
vomit scene real then?
No, I wish
Ah.
that was the first. That was my sister. She was stoked there. She's been practicing her whole life for that role though. She's vomited in that toilet a few times, I'd say. So
Yes.
she's prepared for the role.
You didn't have the cops turn up for this thing, did you?
No, we didn't actually.
It's been a while.
Honestly, we have had cops turn up at our house before after some loud parties, but
Yeah.
our bad. Whoops.
Yeah, the planning of having the drumming scene at 11:30 p.m. in a residential house.
Yeah,
Probably-
that was the main thing I was gonna sort of mention. It was like no matter how much you try and put mutes on drums, it still carries at 11:30 at night.
Yeah, I actually don't know how we got away with that one, to be honest, but yeah.
Good neighbors. You know.
Oh,
One neighbor doesn't like us very much, and the other neighbor's medium.
yeah, which
So-
maybe it's fair.
It's so fair. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm
You
just
do-
saying he doesn't like us.
Yeah.
So your trip to Japan, I know it wasn't a musical trip or anything like that, but were you sort of laying foundations there as well? Would you go over there as a group?
I would love to. The music scene there seems so crazy and
That's
so
what
fun.
that's what I've heard. Yeah.
And yeah, any friend of mine that's a musician that's gone over there, either for music or just to like check out the scene, says it's just amazing. Weirdly enough, we didn't really do a lot of musical stuff. I think we were just like so like, let's do exactly what we don't do in
Very
day-to-day
different
life
break.
that we like
Yeah.
barely saw anything, but like but I would love to. I think the people there are just so amazing, you know,
Yeah.
like we got along with so many awesome people.
Japan was so sick. It
Yeah.
was so fun. It was so beautiful over there. I want to
Yep.
go back tomorrow.
Well,
Yeah.
Kahlia, given that you're a Gwen Stefani fan, did you see the Harajuku sort of area and like?
Yes, we did go to Harajuku, didn't we? Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Clothes are crazy too. But yeah, we did go. I told Samuel about it. He didn't really know anything about it. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
fill you in.
We
My
went
wife,
shopping.
my wife is a massive Gwen Stefani fan, and she loves all that kind of fashion. And that's if we ever go to Japan, that's top of the list is to do that.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely worth it. I mean, the fashion over there was crazy as well. All
Oh,
of us
yeah.
would. Me and Sam were like, okay, we'll buy one. Do you remember when we said this? We're like, we'll buy one clothing item. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna
Got an EP coming out when we
Yeah,
get
but
back,
EP
which should be good.
we have all this stuff coming out. We've got to be really careful with money. That just like
Bow.
did not happen.
That does not
I
happen.
bought-
First day in, we were
I bought
terrible.
this sweater that I really like the look of. It was like $150, and like you can thrift shit for like $15 there, and I got a $150 sweater, and then I like wore it around for a day. I was like, this barely even fits me, dude.
Yeah.
Why did I do this?
Why?
So
what our problem is?
I re-gifted
we
it to my
went
brother.
shopping.
I just
Sam,
gave it to my
Sam, you're
brother.
pretty tall, man. So like the Japanese fashion shouldn't really sort of be.
Yeah, I have like triple XL
Yeah.
and stuff.
And I'm short and stocky, so none of this shit would fit me, man.
Yeah.
Our drummer had the exact opposite problem. He was like, dude, I go thrifting in Australia, everything's horribly sized, and then
Yeah.
he's like a shorter guy, and then anything in Japan is just like perfect.
Perfect
I mean, he just came back like dripped out.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Did you see the there's that crazy guitar store over there? Did you check that out at all? There's a,
I think-
Multi-level.
I think Blade went to it.
Oh.
Our guitarist went to it. Yeah, there was a few days where we were in like 3 couples, and we kind of split off and did our own thing for a little bit. And I
Yeah.
think he went. Is it in Tokyo or is it in Osaka?
oh man, I can't tell you. I just know it's crazy, and I do know of friends that have gone to it, and yeah, it sounds dangerous to me.
There's
Mm.
like a
one that was like 6 levels or something. of
Yeah.
guitars. I wonder if that was
this
crazy.
massive thing in Tokyo.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild.
They love it there.
You
So
drinking that just reminded me I put 2 beers in the freezer at the start of this.
Dude, it's
and
just
they're gonna
it's just soda
one
water.
sec. Yeah, but concept of drinking. 1 sec.
Sorry, I have to do it.
Sam's gonna save the fridge.
Well, Carly, so you got the EP coming out on April 17? Is that right?
Yes.
All right, so that means that ties in with the tour that you're doing because the first date was, what, the 24th of April?
Yeah, a week later.
Yeah, I remember that. I tried to print this shit off and my printer wasn't connecting before, and I just memorized that bit. That's the Black Bear Lodge one, isn't it?
Yes,
Boom.
impressive.
There we go.
And it's detailed.
Who have you got on support with that?
We've got Jill Louisu. She's on top support.
Yep.
Whole thing. She's amazing. Very like alt pop.
Yep.
Really, really cool songs. And then for openers, we haven't announced that yet. So that will be announced shortly.
Oh, is that secret?
Yeah, secret things.
Ooh, secret digs.
Ooh.
So do we have another single sort of leading up to it, or are you just gonna have Pity Party and then drop the?
No, we got 2 more singles.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be another one this month and another one next month, and then the EP and then the tour. So yeah, which I think this next song actually might be my favorite we've released.
Yep. I think we're about to release my favorite Juno song.
I think so, hey.
And then after that, my second or maybe third.
And we wrote this one with Joey, who we
there.
wrote Bleach with.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we just every time we write with Joey, we're like, yeah, this song, we like this one a lot.
Yeah.
Guy
is crazy.
Yeah.
He's good at stuff.
He is very good at stuff.
But it was kind of about, we wrote a chorus with him, and then we both tried to get in a room or get on Zoom or something for probably 8 months to try and finish the verses and stuff. It just never happened. So we just finished it off randomly. It wasn't even going to go on the EP. It was just one of those, like, it was just an idea from a Zoom meeting 8 months ago. And then we were tracking drums for the EP, and I showed our drummer. I was like, oh, we've got this kind of thing going on. Like, maybe while the drums are set up, you can track it in case we ever want to release it. And he was like, that's the best song you've ever written. What are you doing? Like, shit. Okay. So we kind of scrambled to get it done, and I'm actually really happy with how it came out. I'm really stoked that it's on the EP now. Yeah.
Also, congrats on the QMA nomination. So
thank you.
That's a big one. Did you guys get nominated previously for that?
We did. We were on a feature. We were feature on a song.
Yeah.
Jordan that we co-wrote together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of unexpected, this one. Like, we didn't really think it was gonna. And it's so many like amazing nominees, like Becca Amani, who actually written a song with on the EP, which is pretty sick. Yeah, when she's one of the nominations, and like, I mean, I just love her album.
Her album is the best.
She's amazing. So everyone on that nomination is amazing. So yeah, our little songs there.
Yeah. Pretty random.
Pretty random.
Pretty sick.
Yeah,
we thought it was
in the soul funk and R&B bit, and you're all playing spiky alt pop now.
I know. Well, that's what we're saying. Like, and so next year our aim is to get nominated for rock.
I do not care about winning or anything. I just need to get nominated for rock the year after we get nominated for
it's
R&B.
so hard to get. It's so hard to get nominated in the rock category when you got to go against like DZ and all that sort of stuff, man. It's
yeah,
they got it in the bag.
It's so fucking hard.
Would be funny though.
Yeah,
it would be cool. Make it happen. Just make it happen. We're gonna run out of time here in a second, so we'll wrap it up in a minute. Just want to thank you for coming back for round 2. I do really appreciate that, and I'm sorry that it messed up the first time because it was cool, but this has actually been a much cooler conversation. Just pointing that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
No, thanks for having us.
All good.
Definitely understand.
Yeah.
So debut EP comes out April 17th. The tour kicks off at April 24th and goes through April, and then you're heading off to the UK not long after that, correct?
Crazy, yeah. And then more after that we can't say, but
more stuff.
We'll baby steps.
Just finish the EP first.
Kahlia, Sam, hang on the line. They have a quick debrief with you before we run out of time. But thanks for doing this again, everyone else. This has been Juno, and adios.
Adios.
Oh yes, made it through. Big love to Sam and Kahlia for doing that. Epic talks, and Pity Party is amazing. I'm looking forward to this debut EP of theirs as well. And if you want to go see them, go onto their socials because their first show is on April 24th at Black Bear Lodge in Brisbane, and they do Melbourne and Sydney. So yeah, don't miss out on this because they're getting bigger and bigger as they move along, and you want to be there from the start. That's what you should do, is support these artists from the get-go, and then you can say, I was there from the beginning, and have that bragging right. Anyway, more to come because I'm getting back into busy mode. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please do subscribe if you like my ramblings and the interviews I do. It does mean a lot. So yeah, thank you for supporting local music, live music, Australian music, all sorts of music. You guys are legends. Bye bye.